Come join me on my 26-hour journey to South Africa that involved 4 airports and 3 flights, but it was so worth it. So things started from Manila to Singapore. We had a quick layover in Changi. I explored some of the food at their lounge. I tried these veg crystal dumplings, and they also had these like vegetable mushroom gyoza. Both were really good, but I was really just not in the mood to eat at this point. We hopped back on the plane for the Singapore to Johannesburg leg, and this was a 9-hour, 45-minute flight. So I had to keep myself a bit busy, but also rest up. And we landed in the OR Tambo National Airport in Joburg. I ate some lace before hopping on another flight to Hoedspruit, where the game reserves are located. It was a really bumpy flight, but I was so happy when we finally landed. We spotted some elephants and a leopard right outside the airport, which is amazing. It was another hour 30 before we got to our lodge, and it was super amazing. We had some rooibos tea, and the lodges here are so beautiful because right outside, when you step out, you're just really one with nature, and you just hear all the birds and all the animals. For lunch, we had this lentil boboti. It's actually made vegan for me. They had like a meat one, but it was so good, super tasty. That afternoon, we went on our first game drive, and when we set out, it was around late afternoon. And then we spotted some birds, and also every time we drove around, it felt like I was in an Indiana Jones movie. It was such an amazing feeling. We spotted these giraffes along the way, as well as these buffaloes, and then we set out for a nice sunset and snack break, along with some beautiful views, and of course my first sunset in Africa, which is so amazing because it's my first time here. We headed back for dinner and actually didn't get to shoot much, but this was the best apple crumble I've ever had. The next day we had the muffin before heading out for a sunrise drive, and it was so amazing seeing the sunrise with the mountains behind us and these impalas and this beautiful nyala tree. And then we drove a little bit more before heading back, and I had the rest of the blueberry muffins that they made. They're so good, super moist, and I was really just appreciating the food they were preparing for us while we were staying at the place. We went on a bushwalk, pretty much safari on foot, and here's our guide explaining about the elephant dung.
Every single 15 minutes, an elephant.
So yes, they poop every 15 minutes. And then we headed back for lunch, and it's pretty much just lunch with a view. I had these vegetable kebabs, the salads, the couscous. We went on another drive that afternoon, and we were actually driving really fast so we could catch the rhino that another group told us about. So we spotted this male rhino with his horns, sadly cut just to protect him from poachers, but he was such a beautiful creature. We headed back for dinner, had this pumpkin soup and this delicious vegetable curry with rice and this tiki toffee cake. It was so good. We went for one last sunrise drive at Klaserie, and it was such a nice morning, and it was really cold, but I was enjoying every moment of it. We spotted more animals and a warthog, and it was time to say goodbye after breakfast.